welcome. My name is Michael Hilkemeyer from ICTE Solutions Australia with the Technology in Early Childhood Education podcast for those people who want to successfully integrate digital technology in their early learning environment. Today, I'm going to show you how parents can assist you in starting a digital learning journey with young children in your early learning environment this year. Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you 2 ways that will supercharge your ability to respond to a child's expertise in digital technologies. Now, it's so important that we, as early childhood educators, are responsive to a child's needs, expertise, knowledge, skills, understanding, and that is no less important than it is with digital technologies. Considering that we are most of us are aware of the ever-increasing rate of digital technology in our society and the use of digital technologies by young children, even before they start at your early learning center or school. So it's important that that we understand that. And today's webinar will be a starting point for you to grasp key concepts and knowledge about what you need to do to get the year started on the right foot for each child in your care today. So we're going to look at first, understanding parents' role in digital learning. Now, this is so important because, as I just have mentioned, we know that children come to our learning centers with a various degree of capabilities in the use of digital technologies. So, and the key person or people involved in that process are the parents or the carers, who are very much role models to young children at this age in the use of digital technologies, the way that they use them, everything else. Young children pick up so many things through observation at this age, as we know. So, parenting practices and learning opportunities provided in the home are associated with better educational outcomes. And in fact, study findings, the findings of study have indicated that the level of children's use of computers in school is directly influenced by their out-of-school experiences. So there's a real connection there with the capabilities, and I think it really does stress the importance of being able to get that understanding from the parents in the first place. Research indicates that best practice occurs where adults or more capable peers recognize play as educationally profitable and valuable experience in itself. They apply ICTs to interact playfully with children, adopting a style of play that always follows the child's lead, but also enhances and extends the dialogue to achieve sustained shared thinking. And if you are a member of the Academy, there are key examples of what I'm talking about here in terms of just sustained shared thinking. So, here are some ways in which you can involve parents with the use of ICT in your early learning environment. So the first one is that you'll need to, you could use the use of digital or still or video images in the entrance lobby, recording trips. You could have a typical day's activity, curriculum presentations, and any special events as well. Another way is that you could also just use the use of digital pictures in children's records, or you could email communication between the center staff and parents. You could also ask parents to try out new software. And also, what about the use of closed circuit television to enable parents to watch children at play and learning with digital technologies in your learning environment? If you can get your hands on a cassette player, you can learn of cassette recorders and other ICT equipment to take home as well. And also, you can also record children's singing on flash drives. So, we've moved on, as we know, there's hardly any area of any computers these days that have CD-ROM drives anymore. I think, last year, my own new computer came with no CD-ROM drive. In fact, I didn't even, request it because it's not hardly ever used with the use of USB sticks, flash drives, as they're called these days. So recording children's singing, and putting any sort of the digital portfolio on that USB stick to share. And then also you have the development of the nursery or preschool website as well, that you can also have digitally. So those are some ways that you can involve parents in the use of ICT today. But now we move on to the next part of this, which is understanding more about the role of parents in mediating digital learning at home, as it is such a key part in what people do. So let's have a look now. So, the connection there between home use of digital technologies and the use of digital technologies in your early learning center are strongly connected with each other. And as I said at the beginning, there is, a real connection. There's a real connection there. Your I've lost my train of thought. Basically, look, what I'm saying is that, yeah, the the observations that young children see at home um, has a strong influence on how they use ICT themselves. And research has shown that that this all varies depending on the types of digital technology that they have there available. So if they just have one computer, or a laptop, that's what the child learns to use. However, research has also shown that the most popular form of technology is, of course, a tablet computer. For example, an iPad. So, or, not just that, but, smartphones as well. So there's a lot of young children already with capabilities um, for tablet computers or smartphones, swiping, using various programs, even watching YouTube on those sort of things. So let's have a look at parental mediation to really give you that understanding of where children come from when they come to your learning environment. And parental mediation is a broad term that includes both media usage restrictions, for example, the time spent with media and content restrictions, and strategies to prevent the potential negative effect of the media. And this is linked with increasing positive effect of the media, helping children to become critical media consumers and citizens. And there are 4 distinct categories of mediation with digital technologies that you should be aware of. So the first one is restrictive mediation. For example, there might be posting of restrictions on time and content used. There's also active mediation, and I think this is the one that is strongly encouraged, because while there is a lot of there's literature stating that all these negative effects of children using digital technologies, it's when it comes down to it, it's not the digital technology, it's the content that they are consuming. So active mediation, involves discussing the content, giving explanations or instructions while this child is using the digital technology, being present or nearby when the child is using the device. That's what active mediation is all about. And coming with a child myself, I believe that active mediation is the right thing. And it's all about balance. It is 100% about the balance of use, not having too much time on digital technologies and balancing it with traditional sort of activities for the child. But when they're sitting down using digital technology to be actively involved, actively mediating their use, asking questions, ensuring that they're watching, educational content, and asking questions on that, as I've just said. So, I mean, I think that is a very strong way for all parents to do it. The other forms of mediation is technical mediation, which means using software or parental controls so as to regulate or block or filter or monitor a child's activities. But with that, I think, that's more suited to older children, to the older children in the family. If you're more comfortable with young children, I really do think, I mean, I am not an expert, but my opinion is that active mediation is best. And if you think that is a good way to go forward as well, in the household use of digital technologies, you can leave a comment, or you can, leave a comment anyway, in relation to that as well. Then there is monitoring, which is just the checking the browser history after the child has used the device. So, studies have demonstrated that parents' use of mediation activities is dependent on the age and gender of the child, as well as on parental attitudes and their own usage practices as well. So, for example, here's an example of what I'm talking about in this area here. In relation to parental mediation, parents who are concerned about the possible negative effects of using smart devices tend to apply time and content restrictions, whereas parents who believe in the positive effects tend to co-use the mediums or use active mediation strategies as well. So right here, we're seeing the strong connection between a young child's home use of digital technologies and the way and how they are influenced, particularly by their parents or carers, or it doesn't just have to be their parents. It could be an older child in the family, their siblings, an older sibling, or another adult as well. So, so those are some key points to really think about in terms of where young children come from, in relation to the usage of technology, digital technology in their own home. So, as early childhood educators, you therefore have all this information at your disposal. Young children come to your learning environment, and you should have the expectation that they already have some experience with ICT in their own home. So how, what then is a good way to gain access to this? Well, a parent questionnaire is a good place to start. However, the questions that you ask must not only be specific, but also must set you up with the details so that you can effectively plan technological learning experiences for the children in your care. So, in other words, they need to reflect what you can do, how you can respond to that child while they are in your care. And being responsive, being a responsive educator, as we know, is very important. So think about the types of questions that you would like to ask. Some examples could be, do you have a computer at home? How many hours does your child use it? What programs do they normally use? Now, given, these are just very basic questions, and they're just a few of them. The questions that you ask, they need to reflect your capability to respond to a child's needs. And what I mean by that is that there's no point in asking a lot of questions about home use of a computer if all you have at your own learning environment is tablet computers. The two different things. You might have a few questions to give you an understanding, but obviously I think it's important that if you have a good range, a variety of different digital technologies, devices at your disposal, be it a tablet computer, a digital camera, digital recording device, a computer, smartphone, walkie-talkies. If you have any of those sort of devices at your disposal, then I think it's a good idea that you ask questions in relation to that, because a child might have those devices too. But focus specifically on one that you're going to really be sure that you have. Like if your pedagogy there is centered around using iPads and apps, then ask questions in relation to that. So don't ask questions about computers if all you have is iPads, for example. And it's important as well to structure your questions that you can respond appropriately to a child's own expertise in ICT. And it's also important as well to plan key goals with each question if possible. So you need to what's the word I was trying to say? You need to specifically link questions to learning goals and have plans in place. So if a child is struggling, has had little use of a computer, maybe you can focus on, building up that child's experiences with computers in learning and play. And this will help you appreciate a child's use of technology at home. So, the questions that are well planned will help you to value and build on a child's skills and knowledge in ICT, and it will ensure that they will be engaged and motivated in the learning and play as well. So those are the two ways that I recommend, that experts also recommend, that you start the year when you have a new intake of young children. And it's so important as well. It's so important because then getting that information from parents with a structured questionnaire that is going to help you plan effectively. And the more questions you have, without overwhelming the parents or the carers or the adults in a child's life, the more structured questions that you have will enable you to plan effectively. And that will really set the tone for a child's digital learning journey at your early learning center. So if you need more information, I would encourage you to take the first step, which is to subscribe to my Technology in Early Childhood newsletter. It is weekly and it's free. So what that gives you is continual professional development and support throughout the year. And if you have any questions throughout the year, you can always just reply to any one of those emails and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. The next step is, once you are a subscriber, you'll get access to my free online PD workshop for early childhood educators about how to successfully integrate technology in preschool activities. So that is also a free course, and you have 1 year free access to this course. And then if you like the course and you want to learn more, I recommend that you become a member of the ICT in Education Teacher Academy for just a few dollars a month and get instant access to over 80 plus online PD workshops, webinars, and replays such as this one, early childhood education lesson plans and activities that are technology integrated and have attached early learning goals. There's also books in there, ebooks that you can read, and other early childhood teaching resources, all there at your disposal. And again, you get continual professional support from me personally when you become a member of the Academy.